Let's move this microphone a little bit closer. And got a good connection. Alright, so Banished. The same review that I was reading earlier said that it's pretty intuitive that a 6-year-old could get it, I suppose. But let's go ahead and go through the tutorials just to kind of see, so that if you're thinking about this game and you're interested, you kind of get the idea. I think it's pretty basic. It's, you're assigning spots. Some places the people automatically come in, some places you assign them to, harvest trees, rocks, etc., stuff like that. We're still carrying the lid here. Alright, getting started. Sorry. Okay, so initially, let's see. Welcome to Banished. In this game, you control a group of exiled travelers who decide to start lives in a new land. You need to help them survive. Anytime to do a tutorial, you can access the options by pressing the door down here, or escape. Familiar with the terrain. Fairly standard movement. I think, let's see, Q and E to rotate. Also fairly standard in a game like this. Zoom. You can use the mouse wheel for the zoom. And the pitch of the camera with page up, page down. I don't even know where that's at on this. Let's see. Alright. Generally speaking, it's nice to be able to rotate around on one like this, because you'll build something right in here and you'll want to be able to come over and look at it. Don't change the pitch a whole lot, usually. It's just me on these kind of games. All the keyboard keys are configurable and can be modified in the menu. I don't know why you'd want to do that. You're familiar? It's time to start playing. People in control need 3 things to survive: shelter, food, and a way to keep warm in the winter. As I said, okay. Provide the town folks with a place by building houses. First, select the housing menu. Simple house. Now, one of the things with this is the river becomes kind of important. It's there's going to be a with the barge that comes down there. This little space here at this little river is a little awkward. Not terribly bad, but it's got good resources as far as the deer. It's got the trees, it's got the water, it's got the rocks. So I think what we'll do is kind of go here. You can rotate it with R. And generally speaking, where those arrows are is going to be the entrance to it. Oh, it only wants it here. Okay, fair enough. Place to really leave a footprint where it will be built. Scrolling, you can kind of see that brownish area right there. You have to collect wood for the structure, and stone for the foundation. Convenient, they automatically did that. Some cut down trees, so remove resources. Guess we're going to do it there. So I think they should be just doing that automatically now. Let's see. See them chopping away at stuff? They be chopping? There we go. So you can see that they got the little symbol here for each thing they're going to try to deal with. We're actually going to deal with these resources here, which is the rocks automatically. It's all part of this as well. Let's see. We'll head to the area and start removing rocks and trees while they're busy with this stockpile. Stockpile is just a basic area where they can start bringing the stuff to. It's adjustable size here. Nice to have it in a central location, but also near where they're doing stuff. If you've had any experience with city builders at all, that's pretty basic stuff. And let's see. The council will move harvested rocks and trees to the stockpile. So we move the stockpile, we move logs and stone construction. Any townsman can cut down tree materials from one place to another. Some jobs require specialized workers. In the case of construction, you'll need to assign construction workers. Okay. Looks like 2 of them builders. And then house Looks like they're going to make us do another one right here. Oops, right there. Oh, I need to, okay. Rotate this one here. This is a really awkward configuration that they're doing with it, but that's okay. Change looking home. Place it needs to have. Oh, okay. Did not realize something new. Basically just changes the output where it's going with the arrows is still where the path is going to come, where they're going to enter and exit from, so you can't block that. But you can change, I guess you can have to go through the chimney to get in the house. It's weird. Nope. Place one more house. Okay, fine, we'll just go right here. Sometimes it takes a while, so we'll speed them up. Fast forward. See, most of them are piles. Start getting the foundations and stuff and moving it over here. Oh, more? Okay. Well, off we go. Mush, you little ants. Deer just walking right through town. Ugh, still got the sniffles. Good to see the deer there. They're just going to set up a hunting cabin. That's going to be out harvesting there. You can also be fishermen out over here, so it's a good area for that over here as well. So, as you can see, we'll just zoom out on this map real quick and give you an idea. The hills, eventually you can get, you'll get like a quarry. I don't know if you actually do anything with the hill type of area. Trees, this is actually not a very nice map. Really small, buildable area and everything. Oh, okay, it's raining. Alright, let's see how these guys are doing here. The deforestation begins. Down with nature. Like with a lot of these, you're going to be able to go back in and replant trees. Obviously, you have to make it sustainable and everything. I actually consider this my socialism simulator because basically there is no specific reward for each person. One person cuts wood, the other person takes the wood and makes a house out of it. That person, both of them can live in the house. There's a bit of an issue apparently in the review that if you have a stockpile of food too close, it parses it out a little bit strange. So you can have one house with one person getting all the food, and one house with 4 people not getting. Okay, great. You build houses for all the townsfolk. They may have seemed like a lot of work for a few houses, but now you know how to build anything. Or build a rocket. To build any structure, place a building footprint. The citizens will clear away enough of the resource to build a structure, and as long as the citizens assign to builders, they'll take care of the rest. Cool. People are going to need food. If you're close to starving, the hunger icon will appear over their head. Since the town is near a river, the easiest way to generate food is to build a fishing dock. Alright? As you can see, there's like cows, pasture. There's the hunting one. Let's see. Does not seem like quite the right location here. Let's see. Oh, we got a spinner. Okay. Not have done it that way because let's speed up. Oh, we got to assign a builder. A fisherman. We don't even have a fishing dock yet, so I guess fine. Oh, 3? How hungry are you guys? You notice this icon above some of the citizens' heads. This means that the workers you just assigned don't have a place to work as soon as fishing dock is complete. Make more sense maybe to make them builders for now. That's okay. Just real quick, you can look through the professions. Laborer is just generally out there doing the stuff. Farmer, herdsman, gatherer, hunter, woodcutter, forester. So the woodcutters and the foresters will work together. Herbalist makes medicine. Blacksmith tools. The brewer ends up, I think you can build a tavern later on that increases your overall happiness. Tailor vendor is similar to the stockpile. It's a place where people can bring stuff in. Or actually, the vendor I think you can sell to the barge. Physician and cleric. obviously health and stuff like that. Miners, I think we are going to be good. I don't know that there's metal per se in this game. I think it's just stone. You end up with the stone quarry. Time tools, except for you're not letting me use the tools. I would love to use them. Alright, well that's okay. Every time I leave, I have to pause the game. That's not that great. Because it wasn't the time code, it was the settings. Boom! Fishing dock. If you build roads, people move slightly faster. Place roads by selecting the roads. Here. This is where you're going to want to rotate things around. All these buildings should be faced this way, so we'll go... Oh, jeez. That was a horrible sound. Using the mouse, drag and click from one into the other. Oh, you know what? I think it's because that is the actual... No? Dirt road. I'll actually try reading the instructions. One into the highlighted road. Oh, because it wants me to do the whole thing. Reasons I don't really care for tutorials that much, but hey, what the heck. That's what we're here for, is to show you how this game works. This town grows and works to produce food and other resources in many locations. It's useful to see an overview of what the town has available. Information we found in the overview tool, which I was mistaking for the speed tool. It's okay. It's rather tiny, but okay. We have 32 wood. Stored firewood. Firewood you want to keep in piles kind of near the houses. As you can see with the winter symbol here, they start getting cold. So actually have somebody doing fires, and they'll need to be able to access a certain amount of it during the winter time to keep warm. Booze. Stone. Coal. I think maybe you can get coal from the fireplace stuff. Medicine. Textiles. Iron. What is iron? I just don't remember finding iron in a thing to get, though. So, whatever's, I guess. Tools, clothes. In the overview, you can see the amount of... You can also see the current population. Health. So, click on that. When food and other consumable goods are produced, they will need to be stored someplace until now. People have been placing everything in the cart they arrived with. Make a storage barn. So here's the cart. So there's a little bit of food there. Fish. Here. Storage barn. As you can see, the storage barn is kind of nice. It is accessible from each side. So once we put it there, again, that was not the one place I could imagine. If you look at the overview, you can see that there aren't enough logs left to build the barn. You'll need to cut down trees for more construction to continue. Did we clear this whole... Nope, we cleared this whole area out right here. So, let's do... Here. It looks good, apparently. Okay, so they need to stay warm. Let's cut logs and firewood. To do this, you need a place for the woodcutter to work. He's going to be right there, I think. Oh, really, this is not going to fit freezing. They have overly cold. The people will return home and go find the most warm building they can find. I don't know if the textiles and coats and stuff make much of a difference on that. Jump in. That seems like the audio is a little bit loud. Hopefully I'm not blasting your eardrums too much there. Let's move this down, 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 and down. Still seems a little loud. there. Alright. If it's blowing your eardrums out, type it. I can't hear it anyways. Oh, if they're in danger of freezing to death, something cold, yep. Wait for those things to be done. Let's go ahead and continue. Press the correct button here and zoom away. So, your population, when we're adults, students, children, we had 11, now we got some children here, which I guess they're going to be put to work. Population increases. If you build houses, that gives them the option to have babies and stuff like that. I don't remember if people come in through the barge or not, which theoretically you put right here. The barge comes every so often, trades things like cows, sheepies, chickens, things like that, to which you can have a field having those grow. The rain makes it hard to see. So there is definitely a balance. You know, when you start off, you want to be able to find the rocks. Oh, I think this is iron right here. Probably. You want to be able to find the rocks. You want to be able to find, you know, stone, trees, with a decent enough area that you can kind of keep an area over here just going in trees the whole game. I don't think, unlike other games, I don't think if you clear something like trees out, I don't think it ever comes back. It's important to maintain that sustainable system. So it's not exactly a game that you, I mean, you can jump in and out for a little 5 minutes here and there, kind of get an idea of what you think of it, add a little bit, see what's going on. As I kind of mentioned, once you get to where, you know, the firewood is used, coming in regularly and stuff like that, and the winter times are safe and food's being harvested, it's pretty basic. You can always assign work into the professions tool, but you can change the workers. Examine the structure, okay. Make a woodcutter. And oh, so if we remove the barn or any structure, or not the barn, I'm sorry, the wagon here, what'll happen is it'll go away and it'll leave a pile of stuff there, theoretically. And then when they come and get it, they will just remove the inventory from there. Maintenance and a little luck, a small town will grow to survive for many years. The children will grow up and become workers and have children of their own. New houses can be built, and the town can continue to expand. At any point, if you need help with something in the game, a description of how building or tool works, refer to the in-game help. Actually, fairly detailed. Once you get the basics of the harvesting and stuff like that, probably, I don't recall there being anything that was like really odd. Okay, so there's the basics of it. This is some. Oh, okay, this is. It's like I remember building Newberry. As the town grows, additional specialized buildings can be help make survival easier. This one you'll learn the blacksmiths, tailors, herbalists, and foresters. First, place of blacksmith. Place of blacksmith. The blacksmith is used to make tools for citizens to work with. Yeah, if it's going to force me to put it, why not just put it in the right direction? But hey, what am I to do? Speed it up. If you want to pay 5 diamonds, you can speed up. Just kidding, there's no diamonds in this one. Oh, okay, fine. It's like, speed it up more. Here's the thing, what does that say? Oh, next place is tailor. Tinker tails, deliver spine. Dope. hippie. I mean, botanist, herbalist. Oh, we got a whole thing out here. What's going on? What's this? And forester. So you want to make sure that the herbalist and the forestry are not overlapping a whole lot. I think that's one of the issues that they have. Let's go sign some worky works. And one of the things you end up with, like with a lot of these kind of games, is trying to get that balance between people doing specialized jobs and like the building jobs. You always, usually like your free range people are going to be doing buildings. Anybody that's not assigned is just automatically a builder. So you want to be a little bit careful with that. All workers need different tools. So the citizen doesn't have the tool. The following icon will play over their head. Tools wear out and eventually need to be replaced. Right, let's see. Here you can see the inventory of what the blacksmith has in storage for local tools. If you run out of materials, you will not be able to do his job. Set a limit. You can also control how many tools to make and put in storage by setting a limit. If it isn't producing goods because the limit has been hit, the limit icon will appear over the building. This can be kind of important because if you have multiple things taking iron, of course, you don't want to have all of it go to just tools when you have plenty of tools. So put those caps in there. And then let it just kind of do its thing. You can go to work. Don't know what enable, disable. Cool, I guess. Change the product that he makes. I swear I don't remember coal in this game. It's a Minecraft influence probably. Click on the tailor building. Hide coats, wool coat, warm coat. Because the hide coat and the wool coat are not warm. If you run out of any materials, you won't be able to work. When this occurs, the following icon will appear. Herbs. These herbs in the surrounding forest will help the townsfolk. The yellow circle on the ground shows the area that you... Okay, so this is what I was talking about as far as the overlap goes. So the forestry guy will go into here a little bit too, but citizens need a variety of foods to sell, such as meat, fruit, vegetables. If the townsfolk are not healthy, there's more disease. Herbs can be used to keep the townsfolk healthy if the diet is poor. Usually grow near trees, is something to keep in mind when you place it. Oh, this is, I think, a hunting lodge right there. Anyways, rather than constantly clearing areas of trees to reduce firewood, the foresters will manage the forest for you. Hooray. Workers will plant new trees and cut down old trees in an area around the building. Again, yellow circle. Pretty good sized. Enable disable cutting trees. When cutting is disabled, no trees will be cut down. Also enable disable the planting trees. So if you're trying to work out into an area, of course, that's kind of counterproductive because the building's going to be out there. I don't remember if you can take a building down for materials. I suppose we'll find out. Foresters will also move rock and ore that is in their work area and make room for more trees to be planted. By using these buildings, you can help make sure your citizens have tools, warm clothes, good health, and replenishable forests. Next, for the next tutorial, off we go. Winter time. There are many ways to produce food for the citizens of your town. Hunting, fishing, and gathering can be used to harvest food from the environment, or you can clear the land and plant orchards and grow crops and raise livestock. Before it can be reduced, you'll need to construct buildings to create areas for food production. Oh, the audio stream is really low. Hopefully it's not so low. Uh-oh. No, I don't want to do that. I just want to resume. Let's see. Food. I start by placing a pasture for livestock. So as with a lot of these type of games, let's see, while pasture is being built, place other buildings and hunting cabin can be used to designate where hunters should search for wild games, either open fields or forests nearby to effectively hunt. We do have a bridge over here that's automatically put in, so pretty decent size. Well, it didn't give me that, but it did. Similar to hunters, gatherers search for a certain area. Apparently they want that in the, so. These ones can overlap pretty well. That's not too bad. So field for crops. Oh look, we already got sheep. That's handy. Farmers can also work orchards to produce fruits and nuts. So good variety. As I was saying, a lot of with these type of things is that you want to kind of plan it out. You want to get an overview, kind of see what you're looking at and see where you're going to go. See if you can box yourself in if you're going to do stuff down here or how you want to do that. Crop field is currently disabled as indicated by the following icon. Select it by clicking on it. Oh, the crop field. Type of crop. A couple people work it. Looks like 3 of them. Spring workers will plant seed and autumn will harvest the crops. Direct them to harvest early by selecting the next harvest. In case emergency type of thing. After planting, the yield meter shows how mature the growing plants are. It can be used to gauge to determine how much food will be produced. Disable or enable work at the crop field by toggling the work button. Why you want to do that? It's like the crop field, you can do the orchard. I don't recall there being any kind of difference between pears and apples. Same with potatoes, corn, and wheat over here. It's not like, I don't recall that you can make bread and stuff like that necessarily. Although maybe you can. Maybe it's bread pies. There may be a kitchen or something like that. But you can direct the harvest early. Got that. You can cut down all the trees if you want. Or when you want to produce a different type. You can disable or enable work in the orchard by toggling the work button. Something yield. Pasture. I think they're going to want us to do sheep. Yep. If you want to split the herd in order to increase the number of animals, press the split button. To do this, you'll have to have space in other pastures so they can actually take them to another place. I think they automatically take them there. Disable the work. The animals will continue to grow, but they won't produce. If there are too many animals in the pasture, the herdsman will slaughter them for meat. You control how many animals are kept in the pasture. This allows you to gain control. The supply runs low. In the hunting cabin, I'm sure we just want them to work. Ah, yes, leather. Work. Any food producing location, you control a maximum amount of food to produce. Once the amount of food is stored reaches limits, they will cease working. Since the gathering hut isn't complete yet, use the time tools. Vroom! Okay. Died of dysentery. Gatherers will search the area of the ground for food that grows in the forests. As long as there is a forest nearby, gatherers can be a good choice for the first step of food production used in a town. This provides a variety. And the fishing hut. Each building produces goods, tracks how many resources produced each year, looking at the production and uses. They caught some logs in there. Current season, old season. Okay. As the population goes, you'll need to expand food production to keep citizens from starving. Producing a variety of food helps them keep healthy and happy. Bump up the audio a bit right there. For the next part of the tutorial, off we go. Okay, trading post can be used to acquire crop seeds, fruit seeds, livestock food, and many other items. Once it's been built, the different varieties of merchants will periodically arrive. It's already been built. Click on the trading post to view its details. Let's see. The trading post needs to be built on a river or on a lake that connects to a larger river running through town. If it isn't, the merchants won't be able to get their boats there. Before you can make a trade with a merchant, you need to stock the trading post with goods you wish to sell. Any resources being produced in the town can be traded. Apparently we have some hide coats we're going to give them. And, oh, some iron tools. Jeez Louise. And then up here, let's see. The trading post needs workers. There's 4 of them. Back down here, of course. Oh, I forgot. You can also go edge of the screen to get to the edge of all screens except for the right one, which goes over into my OBS over here. Sorry. Okay, speed it up. Get me some stuff there. Some stuff, some hide coats and tools. Pass it down the road. All these little fools. So I'm not a rapper. We can look up here and see clothes right here and the tools. So I'm heading back out. Yeah, as long as the river or lake that you connect to goes off the map, you'll see them. And you can actually see them coming and going. Let's see. Trade. And what we want is chickens. Let's trade an additional 2,400. Okay, increase the number of iron tools and hide coats. Oh. Do you get 6 chickens? Right. Now see the chickens you bought in the fenced area attached to the trading post. Zoom. Oh, they're almost standing attention, but the gate's open. Oh. Since you made the trade, the workers will start refilling the trading post inventory. Purchase mode determines if and when the traders will make a trade with you. Set the maximum number of items to be purchased in several categories. I feel like at a certain point it was a lot of tools was the main thing. Maybe iron. If you set more than one item to automatically be purchased, you can change the priority. Which items by moving it? Oh, so you just logs. Normally when a merchant comes to trade, they'll have a random assortment of goods rather than relying on the chance to acquire the items. Place custom orders with the merchant. Just once. The available items the merchant can bring can be displayed, so it might not necessarily be the next merchant that brings chickens. The next one might have tools, coats, and linen, I guess. Okay. That's the trade tutorial. It's for half hour in. Almost got our first city built. Oh, okay. I guess that's the end of the tutorials. Let's make sure. Sure enough. Alright. Hello. Oh yeah, I want it to be large. Let's go medium. Not a big fan of the valley, not mountains though. Climate fair, disasters on. Disasters will be blight, some disease, stuff like that that actually affects people. Medium game, sure. I have heard that there's modding on this. I haven't actually checked it out. I'm actually kind of curious now, just as to what you can add to it to make it different. I mean, if it's different skins, things like that, that'd be kind of fun. Okay. So first things first. I don't think this little thing counts as anything. This is a river that'll give us a trader. Comes into the lake, goes back out the other side. Ooh, to another lake. That's interesting. So all lake activities, or water activities there. This is not the greatest with this right here, but that's okay. So I think what we're going to want to do first is we're going to just clear this whole area out. Get them going on some stuff. right? Is that the one I want? Yeah. Then we need to start thinking about some houses. So, awkwardly, we're going to probably need a bridge here. Another one there if we go that way, because this hill right here, that's kind of darkening things up. So, normal growth is probably looking along down this way towards the rocks. Not a bad idea right this for hunting and berry gathering, stuff like that. So I would probably say looking at forestry here, medicinal herbs here, hunting, gathering over here. We're probably, oops, wrong button. Probably pretty close to full on that, so let's start looking at some houses, which, we're gonna keep a market here, try to do a trader and fisherman over here. If we go like that, and like that, that's a pretty decent spot. We can get a road in there. Not the right button. I'm so used to just like escape to get out of there. Let's build a dirt road there. Dirt road there. Don't hit the escape button. Do a bridge. Boy, it might not be a bad idea to do that right away, but probably actually going to go bridge over here. Let's see. Food persons. Fishing dock. Fishing dock's going to be a little awkward to put in, as you can see. It has to have a certain, like, that'll work right there. That's not bad. It's a fairly useless place as it is. Hit escape. Summit like that. Now, things to keep in mind later on: churches, taverns, storage, market areas. Here we're going to want to have a place for the trader, which I'm kind of leaning over towards here. So there's a lot of little things that you're going to be adding on later on. So you can't just kind of like pack everything in there. Fairly typical of a lot of this type of things. So we've got a pretty good little pile going. Let's take a look at Forester Lodge. Ah, excuse me. Sniffles. So probably somewhere over here. See, so with this, if you have a bridge here, I was just about to point the screen. If you have a bridge here, the forestry over on the other side. But as you can see, there's a lot of rock over there. Probably not as worth it. So I'm actually going to come over here. And we're probably going to consider that this is going to be rock gathering and stone. Go up here like this for the forestry cabin, probably. Let's see, what else can we put in here? Not a bad idea to have the between the woods. So he's gonna have to gather. He's gonna have to go out and get logs and come back. I'm not gonna worry about that right away. But let's see, can we get a gatherer? Okay, we don't want to have the gatherer too close to the forestry thing. But boy, this is a bit awkward here. But let's do. I haven't seen deer. Have you seen deer anywhere in here? Oh dear. It's just packed in here. Well, of course they are. Doesn't necessarily mean that the deer will only ever be in that area, but super awkward. Okay, no, that's fine. Let's just go like that. And I think we'll go ahead and try the bridge right now. So as you can see with the bridge, you kind of have to start in one spot and go over to the other. And probably there is a let's see. Yeah. So this right here will remove what you've placed in there, whether it's a building or a. So I'm going to take that out real quick, and we're going to go ahead and figure this bridge is going to be just an extension. Oh, move. Okay. Because it's a bridge, not a dirt road. So do it there. Close enough. Rotate us around here. Not want it to go that way, but I'm not too mad at it. Let's. It doesn't want me to do that. Apparently you can't do that. Okay. So these guys are going off to build their little things here. If we jump in here, wrong button again. Just don't hit escape, it just takes you to the menu. We got plenty of firewood, we got iron, we have logs. We're gonna need some stone. So we're probably gonna want resource. So the quarry is quarry's kind of awkward. It's a pretty big size space, which we're going to end up probably putting over here on the other side where the deer are. Let's make sure forestry lodge. We have a stockpile already. Market. So you can always look at it and see kind of what the size. So I'm kind of leaning towards this for the market. Basically, a market becomes a central hub where areas. Leaders from an area will go and get stuff from the stockpile, bring it back to the market. It makes it a little bit easier for people to get marketed. If they have to go too far to gather resources, they won't get them. It's unfortunate. I don't know that. I don't know that we're going to get this trader in here. Oh, I'm putting the marker down. I need it at some point. Don't hit escape. Okay, so we do need, let's see. Let's just have people collect stone. Click, skip that. There we go. Remember how to see builders? Okay, no, that's not it. This one, that's not it. Jobs. 2, 3, 4. What do we put down? Herbs. No. Gatherer. And put a hunter. Yeah, we got a forester. And do we see fishermen? Fishermen. Let's do that. let's go ahead and remember the right button for speeding up. And off they go. So right now, just running stuff out here. There is, let's see, there's a building queue. Let's see if we can find that. Queue, overhead map. Cool. Jobs. Paths. Picture. I thought there was a building queue. Events. Might find it later. I feel like there was one where you could move it to where their priority is to go to the woodcutter and stuff like that. Hey, the deer have crossed over. Good thing I'm working on that bridge. I think at this point, let's take a look at how many we got assigned. 3 laborers, a bunch of builders. I think we're going to jump it up again. Anybody that comes into the village or a child that grows up automatically kicks over to the laborer pile. Child laborer pile. Also, if you add new people, there isn't any specialization, I don't think, with the people. You don't need to be collecting stone. You don't press escape. Although it did give me the thing. So, my 2 15-year-olds and 3 9-year-olds are here. You can see kind of the firewood and the food. Come over, you can see, you'll see later on that, so here's 100 potatoes for 3 people. Here's 5 people, 500 potatoes. And I don't recall if you can adjust how much food they're grabbing. This needs to go ahead, I guess, work. No, not the right button. I thought I made oh, it's not a woodcutter. I didn't make a forester. I need a woodcutter. I do need a forester. Okay. I'm going to assign one of the builders to that. I already got a person assigned to that. So what they'll do is they'll gather. I don't recall if they store it there and then people have to come and get it, or if they bring it in here. I thought I made a... Why are you stopped? Oh, because I pressed the worky work button. Now what? There we go. My guy's there. Deer go out swimming, so I was mistaken in thinking that you'd have to worry about where they were. Although there is still some up here. This does put this area over here is hunting back into play. I believe there's tunnels, but I don't exactly recall. Fisherman, we do have a fisherman. They're bringing their fish back to the house. So eventually we'll want to, you know, there's really no harm putting roads out. We'll go out here, make a T probably, and split it off. Serve some logs is low. We should have that guy going, but I think we can also, let's do this. We can clear some of this stuff out because it's going to need to be cleared anyways. You just don't want to go over clearing an area right away because it could be that you come in and, you know, that's where you want to do forestry or gathering your herbs or anything like that later on. But not a bad idea just to take your initial area and just kind of clear it out. I think, yeah, this is an awkward build. Not too bad there. Yeah, it's pretty much going to be all up in here. We're going to go keep this a little bit wild for the herbs. We'll put a hunter out here probably as well. Yeah, I think we need a new house. Let's see. houses all in kind of a row seems like a good idea. Mainly it makes it so that you can put your marketplaces, your firewood and stuff like that close by and they can all get to it. Obviously, if you get to a certain size, it's going to get too big. We are going to leave a little bit of a gap here. Not where I wanted that. That's what happens when you dork the road up earlier. Right. Speaking of road, eventually you can do a stone road. Makes things go better. Oh, there's the tunnel through the. As it turns out, it didn't matter because I dorked this part up anyways. So right-click does take it off of the build thing. So right now we got some coats, the hide coats, the iron tools, the potatoes. Those are all things that we had with us at the beginning. The people will take those to try to get through the winter and stuff like that. Okay. Potatoes, the hide coat tools are things that we're going to need to build ourselves. Have gathered a little bit of iron. That means we've cleared some out over here probably, or we probably brought, more likely we brought some in. Let's see, stone. So you can kind of, I can do it like this and I can go like that, and you can kind of see where the iron plots are. Again, I think you're fairly limited on it. But let's go ahead and let's do that. Let's just start collecting it. Click. So the fuel should be, let's go ahead and bump him up a little bit more. And so with the food limits and the fuel limits and stuff like that, what you want to do is you want to balance that. You don't want the woodcutter taking all of the logs and making fuel when you only have a few houses. You want to make sure that you're increasing it the right amount. And if you get to where you're making too much, probably a good idea to put another woodcutter in another spot closer to some other houses and stuff like that. If I recall right. Now get this clear, that's nice. We started to do anything with the market, but that's fine. In fact, I'm not entirely certain why they're not working on these houses yet. But you can, let's see, click on it and you can see they brought the logs in, they need more stone. Let's take a look at where our workers are at. Oh, I've got two different things here. We're low on food, and that's great. Fisherman needs to get going. But let's go ahead and look at workers. And that's not the right button for workers. That's not the right button for workers. It's this one over here. Now, see, we got some more people, so now we've gotten up to, there's a number of places to find out how many, but let's go ahead and add a couple fishermen. There's a maximum on each thing as far as you can go, I think, yeah, of 4. Let's add a gatherer, and then we got laborers, farmers, fine. Something to think about now is, oh boy, hopefully we got enough stuff here. Is where we're going to want to put like animals and stuff like that. You definitely do want to do those, unlike some of the other games where you can focus just on corn for your everything. We're going to want to have fields and pastures, and it's probably all up here or here. This really is a awkward map, but that's okay. So now we do have, let's see, a lot of iron, a lot of stone. No, we don't have a lot of stone. So what we need is do the same thing. You can go like that. I would keep it kind of in a similar area, close to where you might have a road. So the more they walk on roads, the faster they go. Obviously with rock there, I'm going to wait till they actually clear that. Don't hit escape. That's not the way to do that. So, everything's waiting on stone right now. Interesting. There's some stone here. Let's gather that. That's not stone. That's iron. There's a little bit of stone here. Harmony's clearing all that stone. Right click, right click, right click. And get logs. We are going to need another storage spot. And as you can kind of see here, we're going to leave that space there. Another one like this. It doesn't actually build anything. You just make that spot available. As you can see, we're getting a ton of iron. Which, contrary to what I said earlier, apparently it grows on trees. I don't know. Stream. About 5 minutes here. Start looking at. So we got some more people again. So let's look at storage. No. Product. Blacksmith. Rather not have them right next to the houses, although I don't think that the pollution makes this much of a difference. Don't hit escape. I'm trying to think of right offhand what game it is that I always hit escape to go away from those. I'm still playing Automata, Weeks 1 game. 5 weeks later, not Automata, Autonauts. Very similar in Autonauts, though. You're the only one doing it. You build robots and then you automate them, so you have a lot more control over each little thing. As you expand, the robots get bigger and bigger. With this one, you're mostly just kind of directing them. So they don't seem to be gathering as much. Doesn't seem to gather as much stone as I'd like. And I don't recall that you can prioritize something like that. Reserve stone is low. Well, we got that part already there, Turkey. Late spring, so we got quite a bit of time still to catch up with food. Right click, click. Not a whole lot of food, but you got to keep in mind. Don't. The inventory. So roots, potatoes, mushrooms. So they are finding potatoes and mushrooms out in the boonies. Maybe wheat is the only one that you can actually do that way. A little bit low on firewood, but that's okay because he's got a lot, I would assume. Should be plenty of space. I think each house can do. I think it's. I don't know that it's specific, like it's 5 or. Let's see. Upgrade is stone, which costs wood, iron, and some more stone. Not terribly worried about that right now. Looks like mostly the game right now is catching up with stone. Oh, which they did. We build this guy over here. A pile of iron. Now these deer are just like teasing me. You could be hunting right here. I think we're gonna go ahead and what is that? What is that? Oh, that's gatherers. Let's go and do a hunting lodge. Right next to this one here. Let's see. Like this hill, I'm gonna point to it again. But this hill right here doesn't do us a whole lot of good. You can kind of see they kind of go with plains and forest, so I think. As much as I'm like, hey, look at you guys over here, I think we're going to be building too much in there, so I'm going to keep it like this. I'll put it right there. Don't hit escape. so it's not going to do me any good. It's pretty much an escape key guy. Alright, so we're approaching 9 o'clock. There's Banished for you. Like I said, I put about 40 hours into this. Really, the review that I read, I wish I remember what it was on Steam. It's a pretty good little write-up. It was a positive review, but kind of talked about what the negatives are. And what it was kind of going over was getting started here. You get into your first winter, making sure you got enough food, firewood, housing all stored up. See, I still need more housing for these people. Making sure you have all that in your first winter is really kind of the key to the game. And then once you get a balance, where you have the crops, unless you have something like a blight or something like that come through, it's pretty much just self-sustaining. You can kind of just leave it on a medium pace, and it'll just keep itself alive. They're not going to expand without you saying anything. And so what you need to do is, if you want to get bigger, you kind of have to plan it, and then you go in, you map it out, you put the new stuff in, direct them over there to clear the trees and start building everything. But I think if I left this right now, I would probably want to have something here. Why did they put iron there? I would probably want to have whatchamacallit, a tailor, to give them at least the winter coats. Might be getting enough with fish. Let's see. Let's see. I've already forgotten where you look to see how much you've got. Let's see. Need a blacksmith. Start him doing iron tools. It's a good use to start right away, because you do end up with this. Don't press escape. You do end up with this big pile of iron just from clearing out and everything, so it's kind of nice to get something going with that iron in the tools. Let's see, what did we see? This one, I thought it was right here. Let's see, 3 of 4. This, the show of production. Wait, is this? Oh, there it was, okay. So yeah. Previous season, 392, current season, 591. I'm assuming those are all kind of the current season, because it's hungry, and you do run into a little bit of an issue if you have your forestry guy out here and your food's all the way in here. They'll come in and get stuff, but generally speaking, you want to kind of keep them fairly close. Let's add another lumbersmith. That's not the word for it, but you get the idea. This house here has no food, which means if we came back here, we'd probably see there's a little bit of fish. So somebody from the house will come and get fish. Wasn't you? No? Don't like fish? I don't blame you. I don't like fish either. Let's take a... somebody... Oh, the child has died. Uh-oh. Starvation. This kind of piss poor. I think we're going to increase the fishermen. We're a little ways out on the... Gotta remove trees, get logs, gotta get stone. We're a little ways out on the hunting lodge. Let's have another gatherer. Let's have one less builder. Actually, let's do 2 less because we only got 1 thing building. I thought we were in the springtime. I didn't think I'd sped it up that much. And there was a place. Click. Oh, late autumn. Wow, times just fly by when you're having fun. Alright, well, this is a good spot to stop, though. Gives you a good introduction to the game. You know, it can actually be a lot of fun. You know, I like the urban planning type things. It goes back to Civilization, or SimCity more accurately, back in the day. This one, you know, eventually you could cover the entire map. It never really gets beyond kind of a medieval feel, the iron worker and stuff like that, or what you'd probably consider, you know, late 19th century type of stuff. So in that sense, it's a little limited. It doesn't really have any, you know, missions, goals, stuff like that, other than just survive. And as you can see, I already lost one person through my own carelessness. But you know, it's definitely it's kind of a standard, I think, for some of these village city builder type things, just because it has such a basic premise. It's just, gather wood, gather logs. Audonauts was the same way. I got castles and soldiers. I don't remember what it is. Another kind of a pixely looking one. So yeah, Banished. We'll do a review up for this one on Sunday. That's going to be the day after Halloween, so November 1st. Do that Sunday evening on YouTube right here. Tomorrow night I'm going to be on Twitch. We're going to be doing Yoku's Island Express. Actually remember how to say that correctly. So hopefully join you over there. If you are interested in supporting the stream or giving to charity, I do support Child's Play charity. All that's over on the Twitch stream. Please join over there. You can find the links and everything. Look to see you next time when we're playing Yoku's Island Express. And if you try Banished and you like it, drop me a note. Let me know what you think. Alrighty.